the University of South Carolina is offering a new class this spring semester that caught our attention. It's called Lady Gaga and the Sociology of Fame. That's right, Lady Gaga is headed to college. And we're so happy to have sociology professor Matthew Deflem, the instructor for the course. He's Skyping in with us now. Hi there, Professor Deflem.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. First of all, we have to ask, where did the idea for this course come from?
It initially started actually with my idea to do a course on fame, on the culture of fame, celebrity culture, and so on, which germinated about a year ago. And then initially I thought about doing a course something along those lines. Then I thought I would take Lady Gaga as an example, because at that time her fame was just, beginning to rise, and she was becoming more and more popular. And then eventually, I guess a few months later or so, I thought, why don't I just redesign the course altogether and make it all about the fame and the rise of fame of Lady Gaga.
So it's more about the sociology of fame than about analyzing the images and her performances and her videos.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So the course, let's say it's not a course in Lady Gaga, it's a course in sociology. And it's not even a course about Lady Gaga, as it is a course about the culture of fame, which we will then analyze by example of the career of Lady Gaga. So indeed, we're not going to focus on the music or the lyrics of the video. We're going to focus on how did she become so popular.
Right. Now, are you personally a huge fan of Lady Gaga's? Have you been to a lot of her concerts?
Yes, I have, actually. I'm a fan of Lady Gaga's music, but actually I've been a fan of popular music and rock music for a very, very long time. Since the late 60s, I bought my first record in 1973, went to my first concert in 1979, and I haven't stopped since. So my interest in Lady Gaga as a music fan ties in with my other interest in popular music and rock music. And obviously, since I am a fan of Lady Gaga, I also know a lot about her career, which I think is useful towards the students, because I wouldn't want my students to think, of course, that I'm just some professor who suddenly latches in on this popular theme. I'm also, let's say, a participant in the fan community of popular music and rock music in general.
Absolutely. So what do you think Lady Gaga teaches us about fame?
Well, what I would argue to be specific about Lady Gaga is to say not only is she a talented and unique performer, which I assume she is, but I would particularly say that her rise to fame has been unique in the sense that she is famous now, and she has become famous over the past year and a half. And I'm assuming that our society today is quite different, and specifically different for, let's say, reaching mass audiences today than it was 10, 20, and maybe even 5 years ago. So let's say, if we would make a comparison with other famous people in entertainment, people like, I don't know, Tom Cruise as a movie actor, or you would take Madonna as a pop star, all those people have been famous since the 80s, since the early 80s. And in those days, communicating with fans and reaching mass audiences was very different than it is today.
So then there's something unique about Lady Gaga in that she is able to reach a global audience today.
Absolutely, and obviously one of the determining factors, I assume, besides the usual ones such as marketing, the entire business side of popular music, one of the peculiar phenomena I would argue today is the use of internet and internet technology, which has obviously directly affected the music industry by means of the transition from vinyl and CD to digital downloads, but which has also affected how artists and celebrity people in general can communicate with their fans, and specifically how they can communicate directly in the form of, Twitter, Facebook, and so on.
But then in the case of someone like Lady Gaga, would you argue then that so much of it is about the imagery? Because, I mean, obviously the music is one thing, but her imagery is very unique, and it does seem to translate globally.
Oh, absolutely. You see, and also I don't think there's anything to be ashamed about from her point of view. And I would argue that you can never divorce image from music and, substantive contributions in music. I'm sure Beethoven had an image too.
That's true.
Lady Gaga has an image, but image alone will not do the trick. Because, there's a lot of top musicians who spend a lot of time and money on their image, but they don't have that same kind of
Before we go, Professor, I'm sorry to interrupt, but we've run out of time. We can follow your class on a blog, is that right? Can you tell us quickly how we do that?
Yes, that's correct. Yes, indeed. The blog is registered at name gagacourse.net, or you can just Google my name, Deflem Lady Gaga Course, and you'll find it. And the course is only offered for students at the University of South Carolina who are fully registered, but we'll keep updates on the blog.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Professor Deflem. Thanks for joining us. That's all the buzz we have for you today. I'm Tanya Rivero in New York. Thanks for watching.